Good morning students, how are you? So now your exams are over and we have completed till chapter number 6, some part we have completed. So we have completed till temperature we have finished and we were on studying about heat. So let's discuss what was heat. Just tell me my students, what is the heat? Heat is the energy that flows from hot body to cold body. What is the heat? Heat is the energy that flows from the hot body to cold body. This we have studied in our last class. Next what we have studied? Next the thing which we have studied, that how the heat flows. So to show this we have done an activity. We have taken container, two containers we have taken, and in which we have put a coin, and then we heated, and then we put that hot coin in a cold water, and we saw that the cold water become hot due to the heatness of the coin. So this was an activity which shows that the heat flows from the hot body to cold body. So what is the, again heat? Heat is energy that flows from the hot body to cold body. Got that? Nice. Now just we will see how can we measure heat. So this also I explained what are the units to measure heat. That there are two units to measure heat. Two units. One is a calorie and another one was joule. The two units to measure heat was calorie and joule. But the standard unit to measure this heat is a joule. The standard unit to measure the heat is joule. What is the standard unit to measure heat? The standard unit to measure heat is a joule. Got this? Next, joule. This joule is represented by J. The calorie is represented by symbol C, and the joule is represented by the unit J. Now today just we will see that till now we studied that the heat flows from hot body to cold body. We have studied that heat flows from hot body to cold body. Heat flows from hot body to cold body. Now today we will see that how this heat actually moves, or how the transfer of this heat takes place from the hot body to cold body. My dear student, there are three ways in which the heat flows from hot body to cold body. So the process by which the heat flows from hot body to cold body. The process by which the heat flows from hot body to cold body is known as modes of heat transfer. The process by which heat flows from hot body to cold body is known as modes of heat transfer. Modes of heat transfer. Again I am repeating this. What is the process for transfer of heat known as? The process for transfer of heat from hot body to cold body is known as modes of heat transfer. What is the process for transfer of heat from hot body to cold body is known as? The process for transfer of heat from hot body to cold body is known as modes of heat transfer. Now we will see that we know that, my dear student, there are modes of heat transfer. So the modes of heat transfer, the process through which the heat transferred from hot body to cold body is known as modes of heat transfer. So my dear students, there are the three processes through which heat is transferred from hot body to cold body. There are three processes through which heat transfer, the transfer of heat takes place, or the modes. There are three modes through which the transfer of heat takes place. The three modes through which the transfer of heat takes place are conduction, The first method is conduction, another method is convection. First method is conduction, second method is convection, and the third method is radiation. So my dear student, the three major methods through which the transfer of heat takes place is conduction, convection and radiation. Three methods, the three processes through which the transfer of heat takes place from hot body to cold body is conduction, convection and radiation. So my dear student, today we will learn about our first method of conduction, of transfer of heat from hot body to cold body. So the first method through which the transfer of heat takes place from hot body to cold body, we will study, that is conduction. Okay. So before starting from the conduction, let us see that what is a matter. My dear student, everything that occupies space and has mass is known as matter. What is a matter? Matter is something that occupies space and have weight. Everything that has weight and occupies some space is known as matter. So there are three matters. Already we have learned in our previous chapters also. There are three matters. One is solid, one is liquid, and another one is gas. So there are three methods, three matter. Matter is present in the three forms: solid, liquid and gas. Matter is generally present in the three forms, that is solid, liquid and gas. Now today we will see that what of this matters are made up of. What are these matter are made up of? These matter, every matter is made up of a small particle. Suppose if I am having a wooden block, so what is a wooden block made up of? Wooden block is made up of small particles. This wooden particle, a small wooden block. Suppose I am having this duster. So what is this duster made up of? This duster is made up of a small particle of a plastic, somewhat like this. A wooden block is made up of small particles of wood. Small particles of wood. Everything is made up of small particles. Everything is made up of small particles, and these small particles are known as molecules. These are known as molecules. As I know, we have already studied this thing in chapter number 4. What is a molecule? What is an atom? First, just tell me what is an atom in chapter number 4 we have studied. What is this atom? Atom is the most stable and smallest particle of a compound, and combining two or more atoms, what is formed? Molecules are formed. When two or more atoms of same types are combined, they forms the molecule. So every matter is made up of molecules. Every matter is made up of a molecule. Got this? So every matter is made up of a molecule. Now we will see that suppose if we are having a box. Now we are having a box. Just see this. We have studied conduction. Okay. Suppose if I am providing heat, I am providing heat to these molecules. I am providing heat to this molecules. I am keeping a candle here and I am providing a heat to this molecules. After a few times, what will happen? After a few times, this particle will become hot. When keeping the candle, burning candle at the just below the wooden block, what you will see? This particle will become hot. And what is this particle? These particles are cold till now. But we know one of the property of heat. What's the property of heat? We know the property of heat, that heat moves from hot body to cold body. As these are in contact with each other, this is a solid particle, wooden block. This is a wooden block, which means wooden is a solid. So whenever we are burning, we are keeping a candle here and we are providing the heat to this downside molecules. What we will see, after some time, heat will move from hot body to cold body. This is the property of heat. That is, the energy will flow from hot body to cold body. So the process in which the heat flows from hot body to cold body when they are in contact with each other. See, these are all are contact with each other. So the process in which heat flows from hot body to cold body when the molecules are in contact. When molecules are in contact with each other. My dear, you are seeing that when we are providing heat to this molecules, these molecules are in a contact with the upside molecules. So what happens? The heat transfer takes place from hot body to cold body as they are in contact. So the process in which the transfer of heat takes place from hot body to cold body when the molecules are in contact with each other, such type of transfer or such type of modes of transfer of heat is known as conduction. What is the conduction? The conduction is a process in which heat flows from hot body to cold body when molecules are in contact with each other. The process, again I am repeating, the process in which heat flows from hot body to cold body when molecules are in contact with each other. This mode of transfer of heat is called as conduction. The conduction is a mode of heat transfer in which the heat flows from hot body to cold body when molecules are in contact with each other. So when molecules are in contact with each other, the transfer of heat takes place, and this process is known as, or this mode of transfer of heat is known as conduction. This mode of transfer of heat is known as conduction. So what is the conduction? Conduction is a process in which the transfer of heat takes place from hot body to cold body when they are in a contact with each other. Got this? Okay, now next. Some practical application can we see of. Can we see some practical application of this? Just we see. In everyday life, we see whenever our mama cooks something. Whenever mama cooks something, what she do? She put a utensil on a burner. She put a utensils on a burner. So see, heat is applied here. Whenever we are keeping, this is a burner. So whenever mama is cooking something, heat is applied here. Why do we feel hot here? Because the molecules here transfer this heat till this portion. So molecules transfer this heat till this portion. So we feel heat here also. We feel heat. When we touch, we get burn. Why we get burn? Because heat is transferred from here to here through the molecules which are in a continuous contact with each other. So this is a example, practical example we can say in our home, which we see in our everyday life, that how the transfer of heat takes place. Now my dear student, do all the substance conduct heat? Do all substance conduct heat? I think so, no. Some conduct heat, like examples, all metals conduct heat. But what happens if we are keeping a rubber? When we are keeping a iron utensil, when we are keeping an iron utensil on a burner, it becomes hot. But suppose what happens if we are keeping a rubber? It starts melting. That means it does not conduct heat. It does not conduct heat. My dear student, there are some material that may conduct heat, and while there are some material which do not conduct heat. So we will see about each one of them. So some material like metals conduct heat. What they are known as? You have studied, I think so well, you are well aware. Some materials that conduct heat, what are they known as? They are known as conductors. What are they known as? Conductors. Some materials like metals conduct heat. So what these materials are called as? Those materials which conduct heat are called as conductors. The materials which conduct heat are called as conductors. While some materials do not conduct heat, like rubber or plastic. Some material like rubber or plastic, they do not conduct heat. They do not conduct heat. Some material like rubber or plastic, they do not conduct heat. What they are called? You are well known. They are called insulators. So once again we will see the definitions. Some material which conduct heat are called, the materials which conduct heat are called as conductors. Examples are all the metals like iron, silver, copper. These all conduct heat and they are known as conductors. Some materials that conduct heat are called conductors. They are called as the conductors of heat. And examples we can say all the metals. All the metals are good conductor of heat. Whereas some materials do not conduct heat, they are known as insulators. The material which do not conduct heat are called as insulator. Examples can be given as rubber or plastics. Rubber or plastic are the example of the insulators. Got this? Okay, next. What is the use of these conductors and insulators? One use we will see of each conductors and insulator. One use of conductors from everyday life. One use of conductor in everyday life we can see. My dear students, one use of a conductor in everyday life is for cooking. For cooking our mama uses utensils which are made up of metal that conduct heat. So due to this heat our food gets prepared. So for preparing the food we use utensils of metals. We use utensils of metals. I am just making here, you can see. So our food prepared here in this metals. But what happens if mama will come and directly, if mama want to take this down, what she used to take? Does she catch it directly with the hand? No. She will use the handles. So the use of insulator in everyday life is for making handles of utensils. For making handles. For making handles. This insulator does not conduct electricity. Sorry, this insulator does not conduct heat. That's why they do not become hot, and that's why we can easily touch them and keep away our utensils. What is the use of insulators? This is made up of metal and this is made up of plastic. So we know plastic handles. So again I am repeating what we have learned in here today. The process by which heat is transferred from hot body to cold body is known as the modes of heat transfer. The process by which the heat is transferred from hot body to cold body is known as the mode of heat transfer. Next, there are three modes of heat transfer. Which are these? There are three modes of heat transfer. First is conduction, second is convection, and third one is radiation. So the three modes through which heat is transferred from hot body to cold body is known as modes of heat transfer, and the three modes of heat transfer are conduction, convection and radiation. So just today we learned about conduction. So what is the conduction? Conduction is the mode of heat transfer in which the transfer of heat takes place through the molecules which are in contact with each other. So the conduction is a process of heat transfer in which the transfer of heat takes place in a substance through molecules which are in contact with each other. Next, all substances do not conduct heat. Some substances conduct heat while some substances do not conduct heat. The substances which conduct heat are called as conductors. The substances which conduct heat are called as conductors. Examples are the metals. The substances which conduct heat are called the conductors. Examples are metals. Whereas some substances do not conduct heat and they are called as insulators. The substances which do not conduct heat are called as insulator. Example we can give rubber or plastics. What is the practical use of this conductor and insulator in our everyday life? So the practical use of conductors in our everyday life is conductors are used for cooking the food, whereas insulators are used for making the handles of the cooking pans or cooking utensils. The one use of cooking conductor is for cooking the food. For another use of insulator is for making the handles of these utensils. Got this, my dear students? See, till now you were not serious about your preparations. The exams you have given. I have seen the copies of the student, but these copies are not satisfactory. I do not saw much improvement. So you need to study more for the upcoming exam. Soon we are going to conduct your first term. So be prepared for that, and you have to study hard. You have to again restart your chapter number 1 preparation, and you have to not to learn only exercises. Be ready with the question answers also. You have to learn each and every topic. Got this? So today your homework is, your homework is to learn the question and answer of chapter 1. And you have to learn only 5 question answers. And might be I will be taking your test in this 5 question answers. Okay, so I will give an assignment and you have to write and give me the 5 question answers within a certain time limit. So be prepared with the 5 question answers of the chapter number 1. Question number 1 to 5. You have to learn from the chapter number 1. Okay.